Our planet holds countless mysteries that challenge the limits of human imagination. Places so strange that they make us question whether they truly exist on Earth. They are shaped by time, harsh geology, and sometimes by the quiet imprint of humanity across centuries. Many lie hidden on remote islands, within isolated valleys, or across lands that very few people have ever touched. Today, we will explore the most astonishing places on Earth. Step into rare corners, where color, form, and the laws of nature seem to no longer follow anything familiar. Amid the misty clouds of Guizhou, China, Mount Fanjing rises like a stone tower piercing the sky. Two small temples cling to two separate rock peaks, joined by a slender stone bridge stretched across a deep chasm. At more than 8,200 feet above sea level, these structures seem to hang in the clouds, defying both gravity and time. Built over 500 years ago, the two temples are anchored directly into the living rock. For centuries, monks lived and prayed here, carrying bags of rice and planks of wood on their backs, climbing over 8,000 hand-carved stone steps up nearly vertical slopes. Pilgrims ascend through layers of clouds where the air grows so thin that every breath feels like a prayer. Upon reaching the summit, the sound of temple bells drifts into the wind, and the trembling human body becomes proof of faith. This sacred and perilous mountain makes reaching its summit both a trial of belief and endurance. At the peak of the sky, one sees not only the Buddha, but also oneself, small yet steadfast. Kawah Ijen, part of the Ijen volcanic complex on the island of Java, Indonesia, is where nature blends surreal beauty with the harshest extremes. In the darkness, mysterious streaks of blue fire flare from the crater, a phenomenon rare in the world. This happens when sulfur gas escapes from the earth, ignites, and burns brightly, turning the volcano into a ghostly stage that feels like it belongs to another planet. At the heart of Ijen lies a turquoise lake nearly 2/3 of a mile across and more than 650 feet deep. It is the largest sulfuric acid lake on Earth, powerful enough to corrode metal. Its calm surface hides destructive force, making the scenery both breathtakingly beautiful and dangerously deceptive. Along the mountain paths around the crater, a familiar image is that of miners carrying between 80 and 200 pounds of sulfur on their shoulders. They work amid toxic smoke and searing heat, climbing steep slopes. This grueling labor makes Kawah Ijen not only a natural wonder, but also a place that reveals the stark contrast between beauty and the price paid for survival. To reach the crater, visitors must hike for 2 hours through the forest and descend another 45 minutes into the volcano. From there, another world opens up. Blazing blue flames, a massive acid lake, and the echo of the Pacific Ring of Fire, where Earth is constantly in motion. Angel Falls, located in Canaima National Park in southeastern Venezuela, is known as the highest waterfall in the world, with a total height of about 3,212 feet, including a nearly 2,648-foot uninterrupted drop. Water plunges from the top of Ahuyan Tepuy, one of the tabletop mountains of the Gran Sabana, falling freely into the deep valley below, creating a white mist that blankets the rainforest beneath. What makes Angel Falls so spectacular is its remote location and unique terrain. Surrounded by dense jungle, the falls can only be reached by small plane, combined with river journeys and trekking through the rainforest, giving visitors the feeling of stepping into a forgotten world. The name Angel Falls comes from the American pilot Jimmy Angel, who accidentally discovered the waterfall in 1933 when his plane made an emergency landing nearby. Since then, it has become a legendary destination for explorers and photographers from around the globe. During the rainy season, massive volumes of water create a roaring spectacle as the falls thunder through the mountains and forest. In contrast, during the dry season, the flow lessens, sometimes turning into mist before reaching the ground, adding to Angel Falls' mystery and allure for travelers and geologists alike. The Leshan giant Buddha in Sichuan province is the largest stone Buddha in the world, standing 233 feet tall and carved directly into the cliff face at the confluence of the Dadu, Qingyi, and Minjiang rivers. Construction began in 713 during the Tang dynasty, initiated by a monk named Haitong, who hoped to calm the turbulent waters and protect passing boats from danger. The statue depicts the Maitreya Buddha with a serene face, half-closed eyes gazing down at the river below. Each toe is large enough for an adult to sit on comfortably, while the statue's hair consists of 1,021 coiled buns meticulously carved, making the monument's colossal scale even more impressive up close. What is astonishing is the hidden drainage system within the statue, with channels and pipes cleverly built inside the head, arms, and robe, protecting the monument from rain and erosion for more than 1,200 years. As a result, its intricate carvings have remained remarkably well preserved despite the humid Sichuan climate and the passage of time. Surrounding the Buddha are zigzagging stone stairways called the 10 Directions Path, leading visitors down to the statue's feet through small caves, observation balconies, and cliffside walkways. The entire area is covered with bamboo forests and ancient temples, creating a setting both majestic and tranquil, where visitors can feel the harmony between faith, nature, and ancient engineering. Whitehaven Beach is considered one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, thanks to its pure silica sand with a composition of 98.9%. The sand here feels cool underfoot and does not become hot when the sun is shining, providing an amazing experience for visitors. In the year 1770, explorer James Cook discovered Whitehaven Beach during his journey along the coast of Queensland. This was an important milestone in the history of Australia's exploration. This beach is approximately 4.5 miles long and was formed millions of years ago, demonstrating that the sand at Whitehaven is much cleaner compared to other beaches around the world. An interesting fact about the sand at Whitehaven is that it is primarily made up of silicon rather than limestone. This helps the sand remain cool under the sun, even during hot summer days. Whitehaven Beach is not only famous for its natural beauty, but also for the rich ecosystem surrounding it. Here, visitors can explore unique species of flora and fauna and engage in many fantastic snorkeling activities. The time spent exploring this beach promises to bring many exciting experiences. From afar, the massive reddish-brown rock of Sigiriya rises above the deep green forest. Its nearly vertical surface looking like a natural fortress emerging from the earth. On its flat summit once stood a palace and strong fortifications built in the 5th century under King Kashyapa, now reduced to moss-covered foundations and reservoirs that tell the story of a sky-high capital. The path leading up to Sigiriya winds past mirror walls once polished so smooth they reflected the images of those passing by. Along the way, the famous ancient frescoes depict Apsara dances in vivid colors that have remained intact for thousands of years, defying time and the harsh tropical climate. Reaching the Lion's Gate area, the remaining colossal stone claws evoke the image of an entrance once guarded by a massive lion statue, now in ruins, yet still enough to spark the imagination about the scale and grandeur of the ancient structure. On the summit, stone-paved paths lead visitors past water tanks, terraced gardens, and the remnants of the palace. From here, the panoramic view of forests, rice fields, and distant mountains stretching to the horizon brings a feeling both triumphant and nostalgic, as if standing at the crossroads of history, nature, and legend. Iguazu Falls Located on the border between Argentina and Brazil, is one of the most magnificent waterfall systems in the world, with over 270 individual falls stretching nearly 1.7 miles. Water from the Iguazu River plunges over black basalt cliffs, creating massive clouds of mist and a thundering roar that can be heard from miles away, offering a scene both fierce and majestic. The most striking feature of Iguazu Falls is the Garganta del Diablo, the Devil's Throat, where water crashes down from a height of over 160 feet into a giant chasm shrouded in thick white mist. Sunlight passing through the spray often creates brilliant rainbows, adding a magical touch to the scene. The area surrounding the falls is a protected subtropical rainforest, home to thousands of plant and animal species, many of them rare or endangered. Wooden trails and walkways have been built along both sides of the border, allowing visitors to view the falls from multiple perspectives, from the base to high observation points. The beauty of Iguazu Falls changes with the seasons, as water flow increases dramatically during the rainy season and becomes calmer in the dry months, yet remains spectacular year-round. The combination of immense scale, thundering sound, and lush tropical scenery makes Iguazu Falls one of the most remarkable natural wonders in South America. Petra in southern Jordan is one of the most spectacular ancient cities in the world, built by the Nabateans more than 2,000 years ago. Set amid arid desert and towering red sandstone mountains, it was once a thriving trading hub linking Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean through the ancient incense trade routes. The entrance to Petra is the Sick, a narrow gorge nearly 3/4 of a mile long, with cliffs rising more than 260 feet on both sides. This winding path leads directly to the most famous monument, Al-Khazna, or the Treasury. Its facade is intricately carved from rose-red rock, featuring Corinthian columns, Greek deities, and floral details, blending Nabatean artistry with classical Mediterranean architecture. Inside Petra, visitors encounter the Casa al-Bint Temple, the Roman theatre with seating for 3,000 people, and countless tombs, sanctuaries, and water cisterns showcasing the Nabateans' advanced hydraulic engineering. The city was designed to harvest rainwater and channel it through an underground network, ensuring a reliable water supply in the harsh desert environment. High above the cliffs, the monastery of Adair stands with a massive facade nearly 160 feet tall. From here, sweeping views of Petra and the surrounding valley reveal why this ancient city is called the Rose Red City and why it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. The Corinth Canal in Greece cuts through the narrow isthmus of Corinth, connecting the Gulf of Corinth with the Saronic Gulf and turning the Peloponnese Peninsula into a true island. Stretching about 4 miles long, only 79 feet wide, and with sheer cliffs soaring up to 295 feet high, it is one of the most striking canal constructions in Europe. The idea of building the Corinth Canal dates back to antiquity. In the 1st century AD, the Roman Emperor Nero began construction, but the project was abandoned. It was not until the late 19th century, with more advanced technology, that the canal was completed in 1893, opening a crucial waterway that saved ships from a journey of over 435 miles around the Peloponnese. What makes the Corinth Canal remarkable is its almost perfectly vertical limestone cliffs, giving the impression that the canal was sliced through the rock by a giant knife. Although it is narrow and suitable only for medium and small ships, the sight of vessels silently gliding between towering stone walls leaves a powerful impression on anyone watching. Today, beyond its limited maritime role, the Corinth Canal is also famous for adventure tourism. The bridge spanning the canal hosts a renowned bungee jumping site where visitors can experience free fall amid the spectacular scenery of cliffs and deep blue waters, making the Corinth Canal both a historic and thrilling destination in Greece. Antelope Canyon is located in northern Arizona, United States, and stands out with its red sandstone walls flowing smoothly like giant ribbons. This narrow canyon is divided into two main branches, Upper and Lower Antelope Canyon, with cracks only a few feet wide but dozens of feet deep, creating a mesmerizing natural corridor under the harsh desert light. What makes Antelope Canyon so extraordinary is the way light transforms the inner space. At different times of the day, the sandstone walls shift from deep red to golden orange, then to dark purple, as shadows spread to the canyon floor. In some areas, light beams appear when the sun shines through the narrow gaps above, turning this place into a natural theater of colors and shadows. Inside the canyon, some sections are barely wide enough for one person to pass, with towering rock walls that feel like stepping into an ancient temple carved by invisible hands. The changes in width, height, and the curve of the passages make hikers encounter new, striking scenes with every few steps. In the summer, when the sunlight reaches the perfect angle, white beams cut straight to the canyon floor, where floating dust creates shimmering trails like silver waterfalls. This spectacle makes Antelope Canyon one of the rare visual masterpieces where nature and light combine to create a living, ever-changing work of art. The marble caves lie hidden in the turquoise waters of General Carrera Lake in the Patagonia region of Chile. This natural marble cave system was formed over thousands of years as waves slowly carve the rock walls, creating sweeping vaults and marble corridors adorned with intricate patterns. The most remarkable feature of the marble caves is their ever-changing colors. On sunny days, sunlight reflects off the crystal-clear water onto the cave walls, shifting them from grayish-white to shades of blue, emerald, or pale gold, depending on the season and water levels. Each visit offers a completely different experience. Accessible only by boat or kayak, visitors glide through narrow tunnels, watching the cave ceilings mirrored on the still, glass-like water. In spring, when snowmelt from the Andes raises the lake's water level, the colors inside the caves become most vivid, creating a scene that feels almost surreal. With no artificial structures or mass tourism development, the marble caves remain pristine. The blend of pure white marble, deep blue water, and natural sunlight has made this place one of South America's most stunning geological wonders. Vinicunca, also known as Rainbow Mountain, is located in the Andes of the Cusco region, Peru, at an elevation of about 17,060 feet above sea level. This mountain stands out with natural bands of red, yellow, green, and purple running along its slopes, creating one of the most spectacular landscapes in South America. The mountain's unique colors are the result of mineral sedimentation over millions of years. Iron gives the red hue, sulfur produces yellow tones, while copper and chloride compounds create green and purple streaks. Wind and glacial erosion gradually exposed these colorful layers, turning the mountain into a giant geological painting in the Andes. The journey to Vinicunca begins in the green valleys at the mountain's base, passing through grazing lands of the local Quechua people. Along the way, travelers may encounter herds of alpacas and small villages that preserve traditional lifestyles, offering an authentic glimpse into the culture of the Peruvian highlands. At the summit, the entire panorama of Vinicunca unfolds with its vibrant stripes beneath the clear blue sky, with snow-capped peaks visible in the distance. This view is especially stunning in the morning when the first sunlight enhances the mountain's colors, making Vinicunca one of the Andes' most astonishing natural wonders. Caño Cristales, located in the Serranía de la Macarena region of central Colombia, is nicknamed the Liquid Rainbow thanks to its spectacular scenery appearing each year from June to November. During this time, the riverbed bursts into vibrant shades of red, yellow, green, black, and white, creating a landscape that looks as if it belongs to another world. This unique phenomenon comes from Macarenia clavigera, an aquatic plant species that thrives when the river's depth and temperature reach ideal conditions. Changes in light, water flow, and water levels cause the colors of the vegetation to shift constantly, turning the entire riverbed into a living painting stretching for miles. Beyond its vibrant colors, Caño Cristales features countless natural circular pools carved by the river's flow over thousands of years. The water is so clear that visitors can see the ancient rock formations at the bottom, some dating back more than 1 billion years, exposed beneath the multicolored surface. Situated in the transition zone between the Amazon rainforest, the Andes Mountains, and the Llanos grasslands, Caño Cristales boasts extraordinary biodiversity with hundreds of species of birds, reptiles, and mammals. The fusion of this rare natural phenomenon, ancient geology, and pristine environment has made Caño Cristales one of Colombia's and the world's most unique natural wonders. The Namib Desert stretches for more than 1,200 miles along the Atlantic coast of Namibia and is one of the oldest deserts in the world, with a geological history estimated at over 55 million years. Its sand carries a distinct red hue from iron oxides, forming dunes up to 984 feet high, where ocean winds and scorching sun endlessly sculpt a barren yet mesmerizing landscape. The meeting of desert and ocean creates extraordinary natural phenomena. Fog from the Atlantic drifts dozens of miles inland, providing rare moisture for desert plants and insects. Many creatures here, such as the fogstand beetle, have evolved to harvest every drop of dew on their bodies, a testament to the incredible adaptations needed to survive in one of Earth's harshest environments. Namib is also renowned for dead vlay, a clay pan where camel thorn trees that died nearly 900 years ago still stand preserved, their decay halted by the arid climate. Against the deep blue sky and blazing red sands, the blackened branches rise like living fossils, forming one of Africa's most surreal sights. Beneath the sands, recent geological studies have uncovered ancient underground river systems that once flowed through this region, suggesting that Namib was once a lush, green land before climate shifts millions of years ago. The stark contrast between its fertile past and arid present makes the Namib Desert a keeper of Earth's mysterious geological memories. The wave lies on the slopes of Coyote Buttes in the state of Arizona, United States, standing out with its soft, undulating sandstone layers that look like fossilized ocean waves. The vivid red and orange colors intertwined with white and yellow streaks make the entire area look like a surreal painting created by the hands of time, wind, and sand. What makes the wave unique is its geological structure belonging to the Navajo Sandstone Formation, formed from massive sand dunes nearly 190 million years ago. The compaction of sand layers, combined with iron oxide minerals, produce the intense colors, while wind and water gradually sculpted the graceful curves, giving the impression of stone flowing under the desert sunlight. This area is relatively small, but contains many unique rock formations, narrow valleys like natural corridors, towering vertical cliffs, contrasting with smooth, curved surfaces resembling frozen waves. At certain times of the day, shadows and sunlight create three-dimensional effects, making visitors feel as though they are walking through a turbulent stone ocean. The wave is also home to a harsh desert ecosystem where plants and animals have adapted in remarkable ways to survive extreme arid conditions. The combination of ancient geology, unusual formations, and unreal visual beauty makes this one of the most mesmerizing landscapes in the American West. Trolltunga hangs suspended in the sky over the western mountains of Norway, where a long rock ledge stretches horizontally from the cliff face like the tongue of an ancient monster gently extended into the valley. From above, the deep blue Ringadalsvatnet Lake lies still several hundred feet below, reflecting the sky and giving the entire landscape a cold, profound, and strangely pristine beauty. The journey to Trolltunga is anything but easy. The trail spans many miles, crossing moss-covered rocks, icy streams, and bare mountain slopes. The weather in the fjord region changes constantly. Bright sun can turn into rain, fog, or strong winds within minutes. Yet this harshness fuels the desire to stand on the rock ledge, a place where nature is anything but gentle, yet irresistibly wild. When you finally step onto Trolltunga, all noise seems to vanish. Only the whistling wind and faint echoes from the valley remain. The rock surface is strangely flat, its silvery gray color polished smooth by thousands of years of wind. Long stone veins stretch across it like the marks of time, giving the place both simplicity and the presence of a natural monument. What makes Trolltunga one of Norway's most iconic sights is not only its unusual shape, but the feeling it gives, a sense of smallness, freedom, and being surrounded by an overwhelming openness. It is a moment when one understands why the nature of Northern Europe carries a cold yet powerful beauty, one that lingers in the memory of anyone who visits. In the barren Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan, a massive, fiery crater has been burning non-stop for more than half a century. Nearly 230 feet wide and about 100 feet deep, the Darvaza gas crater was formed in 1971 when a Soviet drilling rig accidentally punctured an underground methane pocket, causing the ground to collapse. The engineers decided to ignite the gas to prevent danger, not realizing the flames would never go out. Beneath the crater, fire devours the continuous stream of gas rising from deep within the Earth. Geologists describe the pit as the planet's breathing vent, a place where methane escapes and ignites the instant it meets air. The pressure from below keeps the flames so steady that even heavy rain or sandstorms sweeping the desert cannot dim their intensity. Today, the Darvaza crater is no longer seen as a technical failure, but as a living scar on Earth's surface, where industrial fire and geological force merge, erasing the line between nature and humanity. Cappadocia in Turkey unfolds like a fairy tale world, where mushroom-shaped pillars, spires, and rippling valleys stretch endlessly. From above, hundreds of colorful hot air balloons float across the sky, turning the surreal landscape into a living painting. This strange terrain was formed from volcanic ash and tuff that erupted millions of years ago. Wind and rain eroded the soft rock, leaving tall stone columns known as fairy chimneys. Over thousands of years, people carved into them, creating homes, churches, and monasteries hidden inside the stone, transforming nature into living architecture. Beneath the ground, Cappadocia hides vast underground cities such as Derinkuyu and Kaymakli. These structures once sheltered thousands of people during invasions, complete with ventilation shafts, wells, and even stables, testament to the resilience and extraordinary ingenuity of the region's inhabitants. Today, Cappadocia is a living heritage where past and present blend together. standing in a valley of golden orange stone at sunset, watching the silhouettes of balloons drift across the horizon. One feels as though they are on another planet, where nature and history together have written a legend. Lake Meek lies in the arid Konya plain, like a giant stone ring set in the desert. The lake has two circles of water, a large outer ring surrounding the ancient volcanic crater, and a smaller inner ring encircling a cone-shaped volcanic island. Seen from above, Meeki resembles a dark blue-green eye opening amid red earth, holding a beauty that is both strange and symbolic. Meeki formed from two volcanic eruptions separated by thousands of years. The first created the wide crater, and the second pushed new lava upward to form the central island. In recent years, due to climate change and water loss, the lake often shifts color or shrinks, revealing patches of white salt and dark violet soil. Yet these changes give Meeki an unpredictable beauty. Some days the lake turns emerald, other days wine red, or even black like volcanic glass. The surroundings are so quiet that only the wind brushing over the dry ground can be heard. Visitors to Lake Meeki often stand for a long time at the edge of the crater, taking in the raw and slightly surreal landscape. There are no forests, no towns, only red earth, wind, and the perfect circle of the volcanic mouth. Hidden deep within Yellowstone National Park, the Grand Prismatic Spring appears like a giant painting crafted by nature itself. With a diameter of more than 360 feet, it is the largest hot spring in the United States and one of the most dazzling geothermal wonders in the world. From above, the rings of blue, yellow, orange, and red glow brightly amid the Wyoming wilderness, with rising steam creating a dreamlike scene as if taken from a fantasy world. Scientists explain that these rainbow colors come from heat-loving microorganisms that thrive at different temperatures. At the center, the deep blue water, where heat is too extreme for life to survive, is surrounded by bands of microbes forming the brilliant yellows, reds, and blazing oranges. Long before science uncovered the mystery, native tribes regarded the Grand Prismatic Spring as a sacred place linked to legends of the Earth's hidden power. This hot spring lies within the vast Yellowstone caldera, one of the largest geothermal systems on the planet. Superheated water from deep underground travels through cracks, erupting to the surface to create a spectacle that humans can only watch in awe. Today, wooden boardwalks allow visitors to admire this natural masterpiece without harming its fragile ecosystem. As the symbol of Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, the Grand Prismatic Spring reminds us of the planet's majestic beauty and its hidden power. Ban Joc Falls lies in the mountainous northeast of Vietnam, where the Khe Sun River cascades down from the limestone plateau, forming a series of layered waterfalls. The main waterfall rises over 100 feet and spans nearly 1,000 feet wide, and during the rainy season, the massive volume of water turns the entire area into a roaring white wall echoing across the valley. At the base of the falls are emerald green pools enriched by sediment and dissolved limestone, creating a unique color that shifts constantly under the sunlight throughout the day. During the rice harvest season, terraced fields stretch from the mountain slopes to the riverbanks, merging with the water's hue and turning the scene into a vivid, multi-layered painting of nature. The ecosystem around the falls is home to tropical birds, butterflies, and native plants clinging to the damp cliffs. The sounds of water, wind, and forest birds blend into a setting both wild and harmonious, where people have long lived by farming and fishing along the river's fertile banks. Many spring festivals take place here, with drums and bamboo flutes resonating along with the thundering falls. Several caves hidden in the cliffs behind the curtain of water remain largely unexplored, suggesting that the karst system around Bangyok may still hold stone passages and underground streams unknown to modern surveys. Pamukkale is located in Denizli Province, western Turkey, and stands out with its dazzling white terraces cascading down the mountainside, resembling a giant cotton castle floating in the valley. The name Pamukkale in Turkish means cotton castle, but in reality, this is a geological wonder formed by thermal spring waters rich in calcium carbonate, flowing continuously for thousands of years. As the hot water rises from underground, carrying minerals and then spills down the slopes, it leaves behind layers of white deposits stacked into natural terraces. Under the sunlight, the limestone layers shine in pristine white, interspersed with calm turquoise pools, creating a surreal landscape that makes visitors feel as if they are walking on clouds. This phenomenon is not only a visual wonder, but also carries profound historical and cultural value. Since ancient Roman times, Pamukkale has been a famous thermal bath center, with the city of Hierapolis built right above it, where nobles and merchants came to relax, believing that the hot springs here brought health and rejuvenation to the body. Today, some thermal pools are still open for visitors to immerse themselves in the warm water amid the endless white scenery. Walking across the smooth terraces, in the quiet space where only the sound of water remains, Pamukkale offers an experience both real and dreamlike, where nature and history merge into one of the planet's most extraordinary wonders. In Hunan Province, the Tian Men Mountains rise 4,981 feet above sea level, famous for the giant natural rock arch cutting through the mountain, called Tianmen, meaning Heaven's Gate. This massive arch stands nearly 427 feet tall and over 164 feet wide, formed thousands of years ago after a geological collapse, creating a spectacular scene like a portal into a surreal world. What makes this place even stranger is the 99 sharp turns leading to the base of the arch. Built along the steep mountainsides, this winding road symbolizes 9 times 9, the sacred number in Chinese culture representing divine will and eternity. Above, a cable car system stretching more than 4 miles takes visitors across deep valleys in just minutes, offering breathtaking views of the entire Zhangjiajie region. According to local legend, the Tianmen Arch was once seen as a heavenly sign. In the year 263, when part of the cliff collapsed to form the giant arch, locals believed it was heaven's will, signaling prosperity for the Hunan region. The combination of ancient legend and majestic landscape makes this place both spiritual and full of mystery. Geologists are still studying erosion and weathering around the arch to understand the formation of these massive limestone cliffs, while monitoring the potential for future collapses that could reshape the landscape in the years to come. Lake Baikal in Siberia, Russia, stretches for more than 370 miles and holds about 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water. With a depth of nearly 5,387 feet, it is the deepest lake on Earth and one of the oldest ecosystems, with a geological history spanning more than 25 million years. What makes Baikal extraordinary is the network of tectonic faults beneath its floor, where the Earth's crust is slowly pulling apart. This process created the massive basin holding its immense waters and gave rise to hot springs and methane vents deep below, turning Baikal into a natural laboratory for rare geological phenomena. The lake is home to over 3,600 species, many found nowhere else, such as the Baikal seal and the transparent Golomyanka fish, which can survive in the pitch-black depths. In winter, the lake freezes under a layer of ice several feet thick, so clear that fish can be seen swimming beneath the surface, where cracks form giant crystal patterns. Siberian legends call Baikal the blue eye of the earth, a place where spirits guard the gateway to the underworld. The fusion of ancient geology, unique ecosystems, and mysterious myths makes Lake Baikal one of the most surreal and captivating places on the planet. Jellyfish Lake on Ilmalk Island in Palau's Rock Islands stands out with millions of golden jellyfish drifting slowly through turquoise waters. The lake connects to the ocean through underwater fissures, but has remained isolated long enough for its jellyfish population to evolve separately. Over thousands of years, they have lost nearly all their stinging ability since there are no natural predators. Each day, the jellyfish migrate east to west, following the sun, so the symbiotic algae inside them can photosynthesize, a rare migration behavior among planktonic creatures. The ecosystem in Jellyfish Lake is also unique because of the water's stratification. The upper layer contains oxygen and is home to jellyfish and small fish, while the deeper layer, below 50 feet, lacks oxygen and contains high concentrations of hydrogen sulfide, forming a deadly chemical boundary no organism can cross. This layering makes the lake a natural laboratory for studying biology and ancient climate. In 1998 and 2016, the jellyfish population nearly disappeared due to rising temperatures and declines in symbiotic algae. However, they recovered after a few years, showing the fragile yet resilient balance of this closed ecosystem, where millions of delicate creatures continue to move silently to the rhythm of the sun and the sea. The Chocolate Hills are located on Bohol Island, Philippines, covering an area of more than 19 square miles with over 1,200 nearly symmetrical conical hills, each averaging between 130 and 394 feet high. During the dry season, the green grass covering the hills turns dark brown, making the entire landscape resemble giant pieces of chocolate scattered across the valley. Geological surveys show that the Chocolate Hills were formed from ancient marine limestone deposits, uplifted through tectonic processes and eroded by rain and underground water flow for hundreds of thousands of years. What is remarkable is that the erosion occurred so evenly that it created thousands of conical hills almost identical to each other. A rare phenomenon in nature, where chaos is usually the norm. Beyond their geological beauty, the Chocolate Hills are tied to many local legends. One story tells of two giants fighting, hurling stones at each other for days until they exhausted themselves and made peace, leaving behind thousands of boulders that became the Rounded Hills. Another legend says, these are the petrified tears of a giant mourning his mortal lover who had passed away. Today, during the dry season, when the dark brown color covers the entire area, the Chocolate Hills emerge as a surreal landscape amid the lush tropics, where geological history, ancient legends, and pristine beauty blend into one of the strangest sights in Southeast Asia. Fly Geyser lies in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada, United States, standing out with its surreal shape as if it came from a distant planet. Columns of hot water constantly erupt from the multi-layered mound covered in green, red, and yellow algae, creating a landscape both strange and vibrant amid the vast, arid land. What is unusual is that Fly Geyser is not entirely natural. In the year 1964, a geothermal exploration well accidentally tapped into a pocket of superheated groundwater. As mineral-rich water erupted to the surface, the deposits built up over decades, forming a bizarre cone-shaped structure that continues to grow as the hot water keeps flowing. Water temperatures at the vent can reach up to 199 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing heat-loving algae to thrive. These organisms create the vivid colors coating the mound, with red from iron oxides, green from algae, and grayish-white from calcium carbonate deposits, painting a living natural canvas. Around Fly Geyser, several smaller geysers and shallow hot pools have formed where mineral deposits continue to build strange shapes that expand quietly year after year. Lake Hillier lies on Middle Island off the coast of Western Australia, standing out with its bright pink color stretching nearly 160 feet amid eucalyptus forests and the deep blue ocean. The contrast is so intense that from above, the lake looks like a strange crimson stain imprinted on the wild landscape. The pink hue of Lake Hillier does not change even when the water is removed from the lake, a scientific phenomenon that once puzzled researchers. Analysis shows that the color comes from the combination of the microalgae Dunaliella salina, which produces red-orange carotenoid pigments, and halophilic bacteria adapted to high salinity, creating a unique microscopic ecosystem rarely seen in the world. Lake Hillier has a salinity level similar to the Dead Sea, but it emits no unpleasant odor. The water is also harmless to humans and was once used as a salt source by 19th century expedition crews. Over the decades, the lake has maintained its vivid color despite exposure to rain and wind, showing the unusual stability of its microbial ecosystem in such a harsh environment. What makes Lake Hillier even more remarkable is that it lies only a few hundred meters from the shoreline, where ocean waves constantly crash against white sands, creating a striking three-color scene: the deep blue of the sea, the green of the forest, and the brilliant pink of the lake. Mount Huangshan in southern Anhui province is one of the most famous mountains in China, with 72 peaks, the highest being Lotus Peak at 6,000 feet, 1,112 feet. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, it has long been praised as the most beautiful mountain in China, serving as an endless source of inspiration for poets, painters, and calligraphers through the centuries. Huangshan is renowned for its legendary Four Wonders, oddly shaped pines, uniquely formed rocks, a rolling sea of clouds, and hot springs. Pines grow out of sheer cliffs, their roots gripping tiny cracks, yet remaining lush and vigorous. Massive rock formations take the shapes of lions, monkeys, or even a giant in meditation, turning the range into a natural sculpture gallery. When the clouds descend, the entire mountain range transforms into a vast white sea, with only jagged peaks rising like drifting islands. This phenomenon creates such a surreal scene that many call Huangshan the place where heaven and earth unite. Hot springs flowing year-round at the mountain's foot add a lively, contrasting touch, both fierce and gentle, to the landscape. Originally called Yishan, the mountain was renamed Huangshan during the Tang dynasty because of the legend that the Yellow Emperor came here to refine elixirs in search of immortality. This legend makes Huangshan not only a natural wonder, but also a cultural symbol where nature and mythology intertwine. Kilauea is a shield volcano on the southeastern coast of Hawaii Island, part of the Hawaiian archipelago in the Pacific Ocean. With an age of about 210,000 to 280,000 years, it is considered one of the youngest volcanoes of the Hawaiian hotspot. Roughly 100,000 years ago, Kilauea rose above sea level, becoming part of the Big Island we see today. In the Hawaii Emperor Seamount chain, Kilauea serves as the present center of eruptions. Its name comes from the Hawaiian word meaning spreading or spewing, a fitting description of the basaltic lava flows that stretch for miles, slowly running into the sea and constantly reshaping the landscape. The lava from Kilauea not only creates spectacular scenes, but also expands the size of the Big Island. Each flow, once cooled, becomes new land, adding dozens of square miles to the island over the past centuries. A vivid example was in 2018, when molten lava poured directly into the Pacific Ocean, creating the surreal sight of lava meeting the sea, with plumes of white steam rising along the coast. Kilauea is also part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, the great volcanic system encircling the ocean. With its ongoing tectonic power, it embodies both destruction and creation, continuously shaping the face of Hawaii and reminding us of the restless strength of a living planet. The Barringer meteor crater lies about 37 miles east of Flagstaff, on the Colorado Plateau. It is one of the best preserved impact craters on Earth, giving us a direct look at the power of celestial bodies striking our planet. Around 50,000 years ago, during the Pleistocene epoch, the climate here was cooler and wetter than today. A nickel-iron meteorite about 160 feet in diameter and weighing some 300,000 tons struck the Earth at tremendous speed. The impact created a massive circular hole, nearly 3/4 of a mile across, 560 feet deep, with a rim rising about 150 feet above the flat plain. The force of the explosion not only carved into the ground, but also warped the geology. Rock layers around the rim were flipped upside down, stacked in the reverse order of their natural formation. This inverted structure spread as far as 1¼ miles from the crater, clear evidence of the impact's intensity. Today, Barringer Crater attracts about 270,000 visitors each year. From the rim, one can gaze into the immense basin and imagine the moment the meteorite struck. It stands not only as a natural wonder, but also as vivid proof of the connection between the cosmos and our planet. The Danakil Depression in northeastern Ethiopia is one of the harshest places on Earth. This valley lies about 410 feet below sea level, bordered to the west by the Ethiopian Plateau. It is a land where three tectonic plates are pulling apart, tearing the ground, spilling lava, and reshaping the landscape day by day. Temperatures in Danakil are extreme, averaging 93 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and sometimes soaring beyond 122. The air is thick with steam and sulfur, while the ground glows yellow, green, and red from minerals rising from below. Bubbling acid pools and towers of white vapor create a setting that feels more like another planet than Earth. The area also holds salt lakes and sulfur mines worked for thousands of years. The Afar people remain tied to this land, using camels to carry blocks of white salt out of the ancient salt fields. Their fragile survival highlights the severity of a region once called the Gateway to Hell. From multicolored acid lakes to black lava scars, Danakil resembles no other place on Earth. Here, science finds clues to life at the edge of existence, while humans can only stand in awe before a world that is both real and surreal. Mont Blanc, standing at 15,775 feet, is the highest peak in the Alps and all of Western Europe. Covered in snow and ice year-round, the mountain straddles the border of France and Italy, with Switzerland nearby, making it a symbol that transcends nations and represents an entire continent. Its name, Mont Blanc, means white mountain, and from a distance, it truly appears as a colossal block of snow rising into the sky. Vast glaciers pour down its slopes, including the Mer de Glace, stretching more than 4 miles, one of the largest in Europe. This breathtaking scenery also serves as a living testimony to climate change, as the ice has been retreating rapidly in recent decades. Mont Blanc has long been a sacred ground for climbers. The first successful ascent in 1786 marked the beginning of modern mountaineering. Mont Blanc embodies the paradox of purity and peril. Seen from the valleys of Chamonix or Courmayeur, it is like a white dream. But for climbers, it is the ultimate test of endurance. The mountain is not only an icon of the Alps, but also a mirror reflecting human fragility before the immensity of nature. Off the coast of Belize, within the Lighthouse Reef, the Great Blue Hole appears as a massive dark blue circle set in turquoise waters. Nearly 1,040 feet wide and more than 390 feet deep, it is one of the largest underwater sinkholes in the world. The Great Blue Hole was formed during the Ice Age, when sea levels were hundreds of feet lower than today. Vast limestone caves developed underground. As the ice melted and the sea rose, the caves collapsed and flooded, leaving behind the perfectly round chasm now hidden beneath the ocean's surface. Beneath the blue depths lies a world both majestic and perilous. Giant stalactites, some stretching dozens of feet, still stand at the bottom, proof of the time when these caves were dry. Divers describe the space as entering an immense underwater cathedral. Yet its extreme depth, lack of oxygen, and unpredictable currents make it a hazardous challenge, with numerous accidents recorded. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Great Blue Hole is not only a diver's dream, but also a global icon of Belize's seas. It represents the raw mystery and beauty of Earth, a masterpiece carved by nothing more than water, stone, and time. Socotra, lying in the middle of the Indian Ocean, is often described as an alien island. Isolated from the mainland for millions of years, it has developed a unique ecosystem where nearly 1/3 of its plant species are found nowhere else on Earth. The most striking symbol is the dragon's blood tree. Its umbrella-shaped canopy spreads upward toward the sky, while its resin flows red like blood, long used by local people as dye and medicine. Alongside it grow other bizarre species: cucumber trees with swollen green trunks, and adenium with thick bases like clay jars glowing with pink blossoms. Together, they create a surreal garden in the middle of the ocean. The landscapes of Socotra are equally spectacular. Limestone plateaus, carved by wind and rain, form deep gorges. Mountain ranges rise sharply and then descend into long, white sand beaches. Along the coast, turquoise waters reflect the strange shapes of the vegetation, making the entire island look like a world painted from imagination. UNESCO has recognized Socotra as a World Natural Heritage Site, not only for its beauty, but also for its extraordinary biological value. It is a living laboratory of evolution, where Earth reveals the creativity of nature far beyond human imagination. Bryce Canyon in Utah is not a true canyon, but rather the edge of a plateau sculpted by nature into valleys and fantastic stone towers. At more than 8,000 feet above sea level, it opens into a dazzling scene, like a fossilized city built of light and rock. The highlight of Bryce Canyon is its hoodoos, tens of thousands of limestone and orange-red sandstone spires standing tall in rows that curve along the slopes. Wind, rain, and frost have carved them over millions of years, turning each spire into a natural sculpture of unique form. At sunrise or sunset, the forest of stone glows in orange, red, and pink, making the landscape even more surreal. This area was once the bottom of an ancient lake. Layers of mud, minerals, and geologic shifts created sedimentary rock thousands of feet thick. Later, the uplift of the Colorado Plateau, combined with erosion, unlocked the extraordinary scene we see today. It is a vivid testimony to the power of time and the patience of nature. Today, Bryce Canyon is a national park, attracting millions of visitors. Trails such as the Navajo Loop or Queen's Garden lead hikers through the stone towers, evoking the feeling of walking inside a palace of the gods. At night, the starry sky drapes the city of stone in a mysterious veil, making Bryce Canyon one of the most spectacular places to witness both earth and sky. Monument Valley stretches across the border between Utah and Arizona and is one of the most iconic landscapes of the American West. Rising from the flat desert floor, giant red sandstone formations tower more than 1,000 feet high, creating a surreal panorama. These stone towers were shaped over millions of years. The Colorado Plateau was uplifted, then carved by wind, rain, and time. The softer layers eroded away, leaving behind towering beauties and mesas like natural fortresses. The vivid red color comes from iron oxide, making the formations glow brilliantly under the desert sun. For the Navajo people, Monument Valley is sacred ground. They connect it to ancestral legends, seeing the rock formations as fossilized spirits. Today, the valley remains part of Navajo Nation, where tradition and nature blend in a solemn and majestic silence. Monument Valley is also an icon of cinema. Countless westerns and desert road scenes feature its red towers, turning the valley into a timeless symbol of America. At sunset, when the monoliths turn deep purple, it feels like standing before a grand stage crafted by the earth itself. Plitvice Lakes National Park in Croatia is a natural labyrinth where 16 crystal-clear lakes are linked by hundreds of foaming waterfalls. Nestled in the Dinaric Alps, the entire park appears like a living painting of water, stone, and forest. The Plitvice Lakes were formed by travertine deposits, a special kind of limestone created by algae and moss over thousands of years. These natural terraces divide the flow into countless waterfalls, from the towering 256-foot Veliki Slap to delicate curtains of mist. Each lake shines with its own color, deep blue, emerald green, or golden hues, depending on light and minerals. The scenery of Plitvice shifts with the seasons. In spring and summer, lush green forests embrace the transparent lakes. In autumn, golden and red leaves mirror on the water, and in winter, the entire landscape freezes into a surreal icy kingdom. This constant transformation ensures the place feels new, even to those who return again and again. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979, Plitvice is both a natural wonder and a symbol of fragile balance. Walking the wooden paths above the water, visitors witness not only the spectacular beauty of waterfalls, but also the eternal life flowing through every cascade. Plitvice Lakes National Park in Croatia is a natural labyrinth where 16 crystal-clear lakes are linked by hundreds of foaming waterfalls. Nestled in the Dinaric Alps, the entire park appears like a living painting of water, stone, and forest. The Plitvice Lakes were formed by travertine deposits, a special kind of limestone created by algae and moss over thousands of years. These natural terraces divide the flow into countless waterfalls, from the towering 256-foot Veliki Slap to delicate curtains of mist. Each lake shines with its own color, deep blue, emerald green, or golden hues, depending on light and minerals. The scenery of Plitvice shifts with the seasons. In spring and summer, lush green forests embrace the transparent lakes. In autumn, golden and red leaves mirror on the water, and in winter, the entire landscape freezes into a surreal icy kingdom. This constant transformation ensures the place feels new, even to those who return again and again. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979, Plitvice is both a natural wonder and a symbol of fragile balance. Walking the wooden paths above the water, visitors witness not only the spectacular beauty of waterfalls, but also the eternal life flowing through every cascade. Sossusvlei stretches out like an endless sea of red sand, where dunes soar 300 to 400 meters high beneath a deep blue sky. In the blazing sunlight, the fiery red sands form a surreal landscape, standing out in the heart of the world's oldest desert. The name Sossusvlei means dead-end marsh, once the point where the Chahab River pooled. Yet in the arid climate of the Namib, the basin rarely holds water, leaving a flat, white salt pan among towering dunes. On rare occasions when rain falls, the basin fills temporarily, transforming Sossusvlei into a giant mirror, reflecting the desert. What makes this place extraordinary are the massive dunes that shift in shades of red and orange throughout the day. In the morning, the sands glow like embers. At midday, they turn golden. And at sunset, the valley is bathed in mesmerizing hues of red and violet. Famous dunes like Big Daddy and Dune 45 attract climbers eager to conquer their immense height for sweeping views of the Namib Desert. Sossusvlei is not only a symbol of Namibia, but also of time and endurance. Each grain of sand here carries millions of years of history, blown by the wind and gathered into living mountains. Standing in Sossusvlei, one can feel the eternity of the desert and the smallness of humankind. The Faroe Islands, Denmark, rise like a labyrinth of mountains and sea between Iceland and Norway. Towering black cliffs hundreds of feet high, green meadows stretching to the edge of the ocean, and turf-roofed red houses create a scene both wild and dreamlike. The archipelago consists of 18 islands, shaped from ancient volcanic lava. Over millions of years, wind and waves carved them into deep fjords, sharp headlands, and cliffs plunging straight into the sea. One of the most iconic sights is Fossur waterfall in the village of Gassadalur, where a white cascade drops directly from grassy fields into the Atlantic. The climate here is harsh and unpredictable. One moment the sky is clear and bright, the next it is covered with dark clouds and mist, transforming the islands into a mystical world. Summers bring endless daylight, while winters sink into long darkness, sometimes illuminated by the shimmering northern lights. Life on the Faroe Islands remains tied to the sea. Small villages tucked into fjords preserve the tradition of wooden, grass-roofed houses. Standing on a cliff, watching waves crash against the rocks, one feels both the fierce power of the ocean and the resilience of the people who have endured life on this North Atlantic frontier. Halong Bay stretches across the Gulf of Tonkin, with more than 1,600 limestone islands rising from the emerald water. Strange rock formations covered in greenery reflect the shimmering light of the bay, creating a surreal landscape as if born from legend. This scenery was shaped over millions of years through weathering and erosion. The sea and wind carved the limestone into sharp towers, vaulted caves, and unique hollows. Many islands still hide magnificent caverns such as Sungsot Cave and Thien Kung Cave, where glittering stalactites sparkle in the shadows, creating an otherworldly spectacle. Beyond geological beauty, Ha Long is tied to legend. The Vietnamese tell of a mother dragon and her offspring descending, releasing pearls and jade that became the stone islands protecting the land. The name Halong, meaning descending dragon, has made the bay a symbol that is both real and mythical. You journey aboard wooden sailboats, weaving between the green-clad islands gives visitors the feeling of drifting through a giant watercolor painting. When mist drapes over the sea and gentle waves lap the hull, Halong emerges both majestic and dreamlike, like an endless seascape that never fades. Marble Cathedral is one of the world's most breathtaking natural masterpieces, resting amid the turquoise waters of Lake General Carrera in southern Chile. Not a human creation, this cathedral of marble was sculpted by nature over more than 6,000 years as cold waves continuously eroded the marble cliffs, shaping a maze of graceful caves that gleam like divine sculptures. The cave walls shimmer with shades of blue, gray, and white blended together. When sunlight filters through the water, the whole chamber bursts into radiance. The ceiling mirrors sapphire tones, the lake reflects a silvery glow, and everything seems to move in ripples of living light. Here, water is the artist, and stone is the eternal canvas. Marble Cathedral consists of three main formations: La Capilla, the chapel; La Catedral, the cathedral; and La Cueva, the cave. Each has its own unique shape. Some curve like Gothic arches, others rise as slender columns resembling flickering candles. Visitors can only reach them by small boats, gliding quietly across the still surface that mirrors the sky of Patagonia. Marble Cathedral is where light and stone meet, where nature turns time into art. In the crystal-clear water, as boats drift between marble walls, glowing with the colors of the sky, silence becomes the only response. For beauty here cannot be described, only felt with the heart. Yeta Grotto is the hidden gem of Lebanon's Nahar al-Kalb Valley, a twin limestone cave system shaped by water and time into a masterpiece of nature. The Upper Grotto is a cathedral of stalactites and stalagmites filled with fantastically shaped mineral formations. Some rise like towers, others curve like flowing ribbons of stone. Artificial light glimmers across the damp surfaces, turning the rock from bronze to amber to pure crystal white. One of its massive columns reaches over 27 feet high, among the tallest known in the world. The lower grotto is the realm of water, a silent, underground river flowing between smooth stone arches. Small boats carry visitors through the heart of the mountain, where reflections on the glassy surface create dreamlike patterns. Each turn reveals a new vision: cascading draperies of rock, still pools mirroring the luminous vault above. Jeta Grotto is a symbol of Lebanon, not only for its natural beauty, but for the reverence it inspires. In the shimmering light and echoing drip of water, one feels the ancient breath of the earth itself, where stone and water together tell the timeless story of patience, creation, and eternal beauty. The Risha structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, lies in the arid heart of Mauritania's desert, appearing from above like a massive eye opening within endless golden sands. Nearly 25 miles across, this concentric spiral of rock once led NASA astronauts to believe it was the impact site of a giant meteorite. But geological studies reveal that Risha is not a crater, but an ancient uplift eroded by wind and water over tens of millions of years. Its circular rings, each representing a different layer of rock and time, unfold the Earth's history in a spiral form, from ancient sandstone to volcanic basalt. At its center, shimmering bands of blue quartzite and rhyolite reflect the sunlight, forming a radiant halo across the cracked desert floor. The formation dates back about 100 million years, created when the Earth's crust swelled due to underground magma activity and then collapsed, leaving behind a near-perfect circular mark. Wind erosion sculpted sheer cliffs, rising hundreds of feet, deep ravines, and countless hidden caves along the edge of the eye. The underwater waterfall off the coast of Mauritius is not an actual waterfall, but a breathtaking natural illusion created by the contours of the ocean floor and the movement of sand. Located near Le Morne-Brabant on the island's southwest tip, the phenomenon gives the impression of a massive cascade plunging into an endless abyss beneath the sea. This visual marvel occurs due to the constant shifting of sand and silt, swept away by strong coastal currents that flow outward from the shore. When seen from above, whether by helicopter or light aircraft, one can clearly distinguish the bright turquoise shallows from the deep indigo waters, forming what looks like a living 3D painting across the Indian Ocean. The area surrounding Le Morne is more than just a natural wonder. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, once a refuge for escaped slaves in the 19th century. The towering limestone mountain casts its shadow over the transparent waters below, linking the island's tragic history with its surreal present beauty. From the air, the underwater waterfall seems like the earth revealing one of its secrets, where a single change in perspective can make the ocean appear to open into infinite depth. Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park is one of the greatest natural wonders of Vietnam and the world, located in Quang Binh Province within the majestic Truong Son Range. It is famous for its system of caves and some of the oldest limestone mountains in Asia, formed more than 400 million years ago. A geological heritage that records the evolution of the Earth from its earliest days. The rock formations here are not still. They change with each passing millennium as underground rivers continue to carve deeper into the mountains, expanding tunnels and creating vast new chambers. The limestone layer, thousands of feet thick, is constantly eroded, forming arches and stone pillars that can rise higher than skyscrapers. This process is still ongoing, making Phong Nha Ke Bang a living system, a testament to the fact that the Earth has never stopped breathing. The landscape here is a fusion of ancient power and natural geometry. Towering limestone cliffs stand like fortress walls. Tropical forests cloak their white-gray surfaces. And beneath them, underground rivers flow like the veins of the planet. Together, they create a vivid geological painting, both fierce and flawless to the point of disbelief. Phong Nha Ke Bang is not only Vietnam's heritage, but a global witness to the creative power of the Earth. Visitors come not just to admire a natural wonder, but to stand before living proof that this planet is still writing its own history, drop by drop, stone by stone, moment by moment. Giranja Fjord is one of the most famous fjords in the world, recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage Site. Stretching nearly 15 kilometers inland, seawater cuts deep between two towering mountain ranges that rise more than 1,000 meters above sea level, forming a rare landscape where the surface of the water lies flat as a mirror. The surface of Fjord is unnaturally still, yet it plunges to depths of more than 800 feet, where cold seawater mixes with glacial melt from above. White waterfalls, like giant silver threads, cascade down the cliffs, many dropping from heights of over 1,000 feet before dissolving into mist mid-air. Traces of old villages still cling to the mountainsides. A few small wooden roofs gripping the slopes where people once lived in complete isolation. The road descending toward the fjord winds around the mountains, each turn revealing a new view, sometimes a mirror-flat expanse of water, other times waterfalls suspended in the mist. Fjord is a living testament to the power of glaciers, forces capable of tearing through rock, reshaping the land, and retreating in silence. Its beauty comes not from softness, but from the absolute precision of nature. Every cliff, every body of water, every falling stream follows an invisible order, making the entire landscape both still like a painting and alive like a planet breathing. Civita di Bagnoregio stands on a mass of ancient clay and volcanic ash formed more than 2 million years ago by eruptions and cooled lava flows. The very foundation, though beautiful, is fragile, constantly eroded by wind, rain, and seismic movement. The entire town seems suspended between past and present, where the edge of the earth could vanish at any moment. The geological layers here consist of soft, tough stone above and weak clay beneath. When water seeps down, the clay swells, destabilizing the surface. Over the centuries, hundreds of feet of land have slipped into the valley, leaving Civita as a lonely island amid mist and sediment. Every crack in the cliffs marks time itself, the trace of a planet still in motion. The small city now holds only a few rows of basalt stone houses, their walls bound to the native strata. Many buildings have collapsed along the cliffs, yet what remains still stands, not in defiance of nature, but in harmony with its structure. Every street, stairway, and arch follows the slope of the mountain, as if the city has learned to live with its own dissolution. Civita di Bagnoregio is where geology and history meet in a moment both fragile and enduring. Here, to exist does not mean to remain still, but to keep balancing between the weight of stone and the silent flow of earth beneath one's feet. Located on the outskirts of Panjin, Red Beach appears like a massive crimson carpet stretching all the way to the horizon. It isn't sand or stone. The intense red color comes from Sueda salsa, a unique salt-tolerant plant that can survive only in marshy wetlands. When autumn arrives, the entire vegetation turns bright red like fire, making Red Beach look more like a scene from a fantasy film. than a place that truly exists. What makes Red Beach remarkable is that its colors are never fixed. Early in the season, the plants are a deep green, then gradually shift to bright red, dark red, and finally a rich purple as they fade. Each stage creates a different appearance for the wetlands, as if the earth was shedding its skin to the rhythm of nature. When the sea breeze blows across the surface, the red ripples sway softly, making the entire landscape look like a living ocean. This is also one of the largest wetlands in Asia, where migratory birds stop during their journeys spanning thousands of miles. Wooden walkways stretch through the red fields toward the sea, allowing visitors to enter the marshland without touching its delicate vegetation. Each step reveals a new view, sometimes a fiery red like silk, other times shaded purple, like twilight settling over the land. Red Beach is not grand or imposing, but it carries a distinct charm, a strange, gentle, and quiet beauty, as if nature was showing off one of its most dazzling outfits. It is not a beach for swimming, but a natural stage dyed in red, one that makes anyone who visits pause and look a little longer. Tianzi Mountain lies north of Wulingyuan, yet carries an entirely different mood, more solemn, darker, and touched with the mystery of a land lifted straight from ancient legend. The vertical peaks grow densely, each summit sharp as a blade, forming a jagged horizon swallowed by silver clouds. The name Tianzi Mountain originates from a Tujia chieftain who proclaimed himself the Son of Heaven and once hid within these ranges. What sets Tianzi Mountain apart is the way light behaves in the valley. In the morning, fog blankets all the stone towers, leaving only the pointed tips rising like a giant forest of spears. By noon, the clouds part, revealing the gray-green stone and pine trees clinging to ledges so narrow they seem impossible. At dusk, sunlight stains the pillars, a bronze gold, making the entire mountain look as if it is burning. From the highest viewpoints, visitors can see hundreds of stone pillars stacked layer upon layer, stretching all the way to where the clouds swallow the horizon. Wind, rushing through the gaps, produces a low, haunting howl, as if echoing from within the mountain itself. Many say, standing at Tianzi Mountain feels like watching a sea of stone that moves in its own rhythm of mist and wind. Though popular, Tianzi Mountain still carries a sense of solitude. Narrow paths through bamboo groves, cliff-top lookouts, and heavy humidity give it an atmosphere more primal than its neighboring areas. It is not a loud or overwhelming kind of beauty, but a quiet one, a mountain range that makes you feel both small and as though you're standing before an ancient kingdom of nature. At the border where three countries meet, Mount Roraima rises like a prehistoric fortress, completely separated from the world below. Its flat summit is surrounded by vertical rock walls, more than 984 feet high, making the entire mountain look like a floating stone island suspended in mist. From a distance, Roraima appears both majestic and otherworldly, like a surviving fragment from Earth's earliest era. This mountain is formed from ancient sandstone, more than 2 billion years old, one of the oldest geological formations on the planet. Its long isolation has allowed the summit's ecosystem to evolve on its own, hosting plant and insect species found nowhere else. Rain falls almost year-round, turning the stone surface into a maze of water channels, small pools, and waterfalls spilling over the high edges like silver ribbons, plunging into deep valleys. The route up Roraima is not only long, but demanding. Climbers must cross Guyana's dense jungle, muddy stretches, and then ascend slick rock slopes coated in moss. As the trail rises, the fog thickens until it swallows every color, leaving only the sound of wind and running water. Reaching the summit feels like stepping into another realm. Black rock, strange formations, a wide plateau, and a silence that resembles an alien world. For the indigenous tribes, Roraima is sacred. They believe the mountain is the root of the universe, a place where time becomes trapped and ancient spirits leave their marks. Even without temples or human-made structures, the summit itself radiates a kind of holiness that needs no explanation. Roraima is the kind of wonder that makes anyone standing before it feel small, as if looking at the doorway to a world that never belonged to human. Nusa Penida Island lies southeast of Bali, completely separated from the bustle of the main island. Its landscape carries a distinctly raw character, towering white cliffs, rising hundreds of feet high, cobalt blue waves crashing into their bases in streaks of white foam, and scattered villages tucked behind dry rolling hills. The waters around the island are famous for their clarity, revealing coral formations far beneath the surface. The waves here are strong and decisive, eroding limestone into alcoves, stone arches, and tiny coves entirely isolated from one another. Nusa Penida also preserves an older, less diluted form of Balinese culture. Small stone temples stand within dry forests, and many rituals are still carried out according to traditional customs. Rough, winding roads cut across the hills, making the journey to places like Broken Beach or Angel's Billabong feel more like an expedition than a casual outing. The island does not try to appear effortlessly pretty. It keeps the harsh authenticity of deep-sea landscapes. What draws people to Nusa Penida is its unapologetic simplicity: strong wind, sharp rock, deep water, and viewpoints that open directly toward the vast ocean. Visitors often leave with the impression of a place that still holds the wildness Bali lost long ago. An island that is not gentle, but full of vitality and character. The Dead Sea lies within the Jordan Rift Valley like a silent ribbon of blue water marked by an unmistakable sense of solitude. Surrounding the lake are sand-colored mountain ridges, and the surface is so calm it resembles a thin sheet of glass. The most striking feature is the white salt crystals forming sharp borders along the deep blue water, giving the landscape a dry yet surreal appearance. The Dead Sea's salinity is so high that the body almost floats automatically. The water is dense, heavy, and slightly viscous, making every movement slow, as if time itself were stretching. A faint sulfuric mineral smell drifts in the wind, blending with the cobalt blue tone of the lake to create a strong sense of a place shaped by unique geology. Beneath the seemingly still surface lies a history spanning millions of years, when the lake was far larger than it is today. Along the shoreline, salt crystallizes into strange shapes: round pillars, thin plates, or irregular white patterns like stone lacework. Sometimes the receding water exposes cracked ground, with each fissure covered by a thin layer of salt like powdered frost. The Dead Sea is not a lake known for lush scenery. Its beauty is harsh and unforgiving. The landscape is dry, rigid, and intensely bright under the sky, yet standing before the still water brings a rare sense of silence. This is a place where nature does not soften itself, but reveals a raw, primordial beauty, where water and salt write their own story. Hutawan rises in the East China Sea like a village forgotten by time, where old houses are slowly reclaimed by nature. Vines, moss, and wild creepers wrap around walls and cover roofs, creating a scene both surreal and alive, as if from a post-apocalyptic film. The houses that once held the lives of over 2,000 people now only keep the rigid frame of stone and wood architecture. Remains of storm-resistant building techniques, narrow windows, thick walls, and Buddhist symbols still linger, reminding visitors of a culture connected to the sea and faith. The winding paths between buildings are now green corridors of nature. Sunlight filters through the leaves, reflecting on the old bricks, creating strong color contrasts that make visitors feel lost in a green labyrinth. Time seems to stand still. The space is both wild and poetic, both thrilling and calming. Visitors here experience the miraculous regeneration of nature, sensing the extraordinary power of plants reclaiming abandoned spaces. Photographers and ecologists find it ideal to observe interactions between architecture and ecosystems. Every step is a dialogue between humans and nature, past and present. Batagaika crater rises like a giant wound on Siberia, where permafrost melts day by day. The crater stretches about 1 kilometer long, several hundred meters wide, and over 300 feet deep, continuing to expand and creating a constantly changing scene. The crater grows an average of 10 to 15 meters per year, exposing Holocene soils that provide valuable data about climate over thousands of years. The colorful soil layers from reddish-brown, pale yellow, gray to white reflect geological changes over time. This area was once used by indigenous people to observe ice and thaw cycles linked to survival in harsh Siberian conditions. When morning light strikes, the layers appear vividly, creating surreal effects like scenes from a science fiction film. The constantly changing crater makes every step a unique visual experience. The landscape is both wild and enchanting, making visitors feel lost in a post-apocalyptic world, yet full of life, where nature reigns supreme. Visitors can directly observe the ongoing landslides, feeling the power of geology and the fragility of humans against nature. Every step and every view is a lesson about time, the temporary existence of the earth, and the fierce vitality of permafrost melting day by day. Along the Japanese coast into Tottori Prefecture, golden sand dunes stretch for tens of miles, creating a rare landscape in a country known for its mountains and forests. The dunes rise over 131 feet and constantly shift shape under the influence of sea winds. When the sun rises, sharp rippling patterns appear, curving like frozen waves on the ground, an aesthetic both wild and refined. The origin of the dunes began thousands of years ago, when the Sendai River carried sediment to the sea. Waves and wind transported this immense volume of sand along the coast, gathering it into a vast, sandy expanse. Over time, the layers accumulated into dunes that gradually migrated inland. Some areas still show traces of ancient water channels where sand was compressed into firmer surfaces, reflecting changes in sea level across different eras. When strong winds shift direction, the sand surface forms ripples, small, even waves created by oscillating air currents. They can vanish within hours, giving way to new patterns. On stormy days, entire dunes can change structure, prompting locals to say that Tottori has a different face every day. In Japanese culture, this sandy region has long been compared to a gateway to the afterlife due to its vast emptiness and profound silence. Many local legends tell of spirits wandering between the sand and wind. The combination of endlessly shifting scenery and deep-rooted cultural meaning has made Tottori one of the most surreal places in Japan. On the vast Tengyur Plateau, the Bromo Sumeru Range appears like a stage where red earth and volcanic ash take turns shaping the land. Bromo's crater constantly releases white steam, while Sumeru to the south rhythmically sends vertical columns of ash skyward like signals from deep within the earth. As morning mist sweeps through, the mountainsides emerge in shifting silhouettes, giving the entire scene a surreal quality, as if the world were transforming. The Tenga caldera originated from the collapse of a massive volcano, leaving behind a basin several miles wide. On this foundation, younger vents continued to rise, creating a structure of volcanoes within a volcano. Thin layers of ash accumulate with each eruption, like pages of geological history in which every color band records a different moment in the region's activity. The Sea of Sand, a wide expanse of basaltic ash, constantly changes under the influence of wind. On some days, the ground appears flat and smooth, but a single shift in wind direction brings sharp ripples stretching along the valley. The spacing between these ripples reflects the speed and intensity of the airflow, forming a kind of natural script that lasts only for a few hours. When Semeru erupts strongly, charged ash particles colliding within the volcanic cloud can generate volcanic lightning, brief flashes that ignite the darkness before vanishing into the gray plume. This static energy reflects off the caldera walls, illuminating the valley in pulses like the breathing of a giant hidden beneath the earth. Colca Canyon is a giant gorge more than 9,143 feet deep, where sheer cliffs form two natural walls stretching across the Andes. Early morning light strikes the rock layers, revealing bands of reddish-brown and ash-gray accumulated over millions of years. The Colca River winds at the canyon floor like a thin silver ribbon amid the vast mountain landscape. The canyon walls bear the imprint of the uplift of the South American plate as it collided with the Nazca plate. Tectonic compression pushed up the Earth's crust, creating long folds and cliffs cut by ancient faults. Along the steep slopes, thousands of ancient terraces built by the Colagua and Cabana people curve gracefully and are still used to grow corn and quinoa. These terraces retain soil and regulate water flow, forming a sustainable agricultural system that has lasted for more than 1,000 years. One of Colca Canyon's most remarkable moments is when Andean condors rise from the depths. They ride the warm air currents lifting from the canyon floor, circling silently. As they glide above visitors, their wingspans, nearly 10 feet across, catch the sunlight, creating the sensation of a living remnant of prehistory passing overhead. Safaranga Cold Desert is a sandfield located at an elevation of over 7,545 feet in the Shigar Valley, where long dune ridges stretch beneath the snowy arc of the Karakoram Range. The sand appears pale yellow in the morning, but shifts to silvery gray when light reflects off the ice-covered peaks into the valley. In the absolute stillness, each wind ripple on the surface is sharply defined, like temporary engravings made by the cold air. This desert landscape formed when ancient glaciers retreated, leaving behind fine sediments ground and carried by glacial flow. Strong mountain winds sweeping through the wide valley gathered these materials into long parallel dunes. Despite appearing barren, scattered vegetation persists, deep-rooted thorn shrubs that retain moisture and a few small grasses that sprout during the brief warm season. Most animal activity occurs at night, when the ground becomes so cold that movement on the surface is limited. A distinctive phenomenon at Safaranga is surface-frozen sand. On cold nights, the scant moisture in the air crystallizes into an ultra-thin layer of ice that coats the dunes. When the sun rises, the ice melts quickly and emits faint crackling sounds, a delicate sign of the meeting point between high mountain climate and desert sand.